I'm standing in Riften, in the southeast corner of Skyrim's map, and today's objective is simple. Kick a cabbage from these Riften gates all the way to the main gates of Solitude as fast as possible. But I'm not doing it alone. I've challenged 2 other competitors and the fastest time wins. The problem is my competitors Joov and ForTheWren haven't seen the rules. They haven't tested this, they don't know the route. And we're all about to find out just how broken Skyrim's physics engine really is. And the prize? Today's winner will receive a sealed first edition copy of Skyrim's original Xbox 360 release with a 9.6 PSA collector's rating, valued at $6.99. Good Christ. The winner will receive a factory-sealed Platinum Hits Legendary Edition copy of Skyrim for Xbox 360, valued at $97.49, with Kinect support. Let's see if I can get this down a bit. $80. Try that. No fast travel, no horses, no magic, with one exception, which I'll explain in a minute. To move the cabbage, you can only walk or sprint directly into it. That's the entire game, every other rule, and there are a few of them I'll explain as they matter. 3 players, 1 province, 1 grand prize. Will we make it to the end? Will anyone have a breakdown? And the most important question of all, is this a stupid idea for a YouTube video? Let's find out. Let the first official game of Cabbageball commence.
Welcome to the first annual Cabbageball tournament. We've got an insane game plan for you today, and it's all made possible by today's sponsor, NORDVPN. Listen up, rookie. You wouldn't walk into a Giants camp without armor, so why are you raw-dogging public Wi-Fi without next-generation encryption? Bad actors are waiting in the digital gulch, ready to intercept your sensitive data with a man-in-the-middle attack. It's a devastating digital pick 6 straight to your bank account. You need a heavy-hitting defense. Yes. NORDVPN shields your internet traffic from the blitz, with threat protection acting as your offensive line, malicious sites, intrusive trackers, and malware getting tackled before they even cross the line of scrimmage. Time to sign the ultimate contract. Head to NORDVPN.com/Bandercoot right now to secure the best deal on the internet. When you use that link, you'll draft a massive exclusive discount on a 2-year plan, plus 4 additional bonus months completely free. And it's totally risk-free with NORDVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't let your data get benched. Click the link in the description below or rush over to NORDVPN.com/Bandercoot right now. Protect the cabbage. Protect your data. NORDVPN!
For the sickos out there who want to read along or try to beat our times, the full rulebook is in the description. Now, every great race starts at the starting line, but this is Skyrim, so we start in a wooden cart. To kick off the game, every player boots up a completely vanilla save file. The second our hands are untied, we bypass the tutorial by opening the console and teleporting directly into Riften. Or if you're Joov, you do the entire tutorial first.
Aren't you supposed to teleport out of there? No.
In a challenge this physically demanding, character creation is everything. Joov and Ren are both Skyrim veterans, so they both instantly pick Khajiit for the unarmed damage advantage. I, on the other hand, chose to play as a Nord because today's sponsor is NORDVPN, and I thought that would be worth it for the bit. And it was not. ForTheWren named her cat For the Cabbage. I named my Nord Cabbagecoot, and Joov went with
Kabape it is.
Now that we exist, we have to build our roster. Welcome to the heist. First, we have to steal cabbages from the local Riften carts. The absolute legal carrying limit is 10. Every surviving cabbage at the finish line shaves 5 minutes off your final time. Even though the timers hadn't started, the psychological deterioration had.
There's only 1 cart. It's only got 2 cabbages on it. Local carts.
Is it only loose cabbages or cabbages in a barrel? Oh, there's 5 right there. I think I already have to check the rules.
Ren and I managed to secure a perfect 10 cabbage roster.
Cabbage. Okay, we found it. Okay, I didn't see this.
Joov ran into trouble.
Should I just throw them all into the river? God, this is off to a really bad start. It's too dark underwater. I can't see. 5, 6, 7. I got caught. Are you fucking kidding me? What does this mean for the challenge? There's no rule on this. Are you shitting me, man? I just want to kick some cabbage.
Starting his run at an immediate disadvantage with only 9. We stepped outside the gates. Behind us, safety. Ahead of us, an entire province of hostile NPCs, broken physics, and 0 fast travel. The rules dictate the timer starts the exact millisecond the first active cabbage hits the dirt.
I'm so scared right now.
I'm kind of nervous. What the hell? Why am I getting like performance anxiety right now? I'm scared.
Timer set, cabbages ready, and we're off.
Got a good little bend here. Let's just take that momentum, try to push it right. Holy shit, he moves fast.
Off to a good start, I think.
Now, before you can kick a vegetable across a continent, you need to know where you're going. Joov and I spent around an hour theory crafting our routes. Joov planned to ride the outside map and then cut left towards Solitude. My plan, push up to Windhelm, dip south through Whiterun to stockpile resources, and then bring it home. Ren did not theory craft.
I meant to open the map. Oh my god. No. Wait. Let's try to go through this so we can hit Helgen and then go up this way.
So I think this is her route? Maybe? Joov's not even 3 minutes into his run, and already you can see the efficiency of a man who has done way too many Skyrim challenge videos.
I'm gonna cut through the forest here.
He almost makes it look easy. Or maybe Ren and I just make it look hard.
Wait. No, I don't know where the cabbage went.
This is a good time to mention that cabbages are shockingly difficult to see in Skyrim. You're constantly asking yourself, did my cabbage just clip through the world, or did I just lose sight of it? I was facing a different problem. The Nord's unarmed attack doesn't do shit. Where Joov and ForTheWren could one-shot a wolf with a single right hook, every fight for me became a desperate struggle for survival. Oh my god, I fucked up picking Nord. But that doesn't mean the Khajiit are impervious to death either.
No, not a bandit chief. No, 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 no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Okay, so the death penalty. Die and you respawn at your last quick save, plus 5 minutes bolted onto your final time. And the catch is, you can't just quick save wherever you want. It's only legal beside a crossroads signpost, and the exact second a location discovered notification pops up. Ren hadn't hit either, so her last legal quick save is still sitting back at Riften's gates, which is exactly where she's headed. Meanwhile, I'm trying to pull my cabbage out of a little pawn nook, still not healed from the wolves, when this big boy finds me. Oh, you've got to be fucking shitting me right now. I, in a complete panic, do this. Which brings us to this challenge's second most powerful mechanic, the Fus Ro Dah bank. Every legal quick save banks one use of unrelenting force. And because stepping outside of Riften immediately gives us our first legal checkpoint, every player starts the run with one shout in the bank. Ideally, you save that shout to blast a cabbage up a hill. Instead, I used mine on this spider, bringing my Fus Ro Dah bank down to 0. Oh, and also as I was manically trying to heal from the frostbite spider attack, this happened. Oh my god, I ate a cabbage. How's our boy Joov looking?
What a shot! What a shot! Oh, right up the middle! Utilizing his sprint, redirecting properly. So far, so good.
How's Ren's restart going?
No. No, no! Okay.
Ren eventually breaks through the opening gauntlet and starts absolutely folding people.
Thank the Lordy.
Ren then tries to kill an elk, loses her cabbage again.
This is a nightmare.
Drops a new cabbage, and then has it roll down a hill. I'll tell you now, her run is absolutely plagued with some rather peculiar cabbage physics.
Wait, did you just see that? Did you see that?
It's not all sunshine and roses for our Skyrim expert Joov, however, and it isn't long until our star Cabbageball player runs into his first roadblock.
Let's not go into the trunk. Let's not go into the tree trunk. Oh my god, we went into the tree trunk. No, we may have to take a penalty on that. Fuck, dude. I knew it was eyeing the whole of that tree trunk.
If your cabbage enters a place where it is visible but cannot reasonably be recovered by kicking, it is stuck. If you can still physically pick it up, you may place it on the nearest playable ground next to the hazard, incurring a 30-second time penalty. Ren hits the same snag and has a different way of dealing with it.
That was actually a terrible idea.
Meanwhile, I was running into my next major challenge. Whilst trying to fend off a wolf, my cabbage had rolled right into a giant's camp. Oh no. This is going to ruin the tour. Dude, I haven't had a quick save since Riften. This giant is gonna smoke me. Is that my cabbage? But the closer I got to my cabbage, I realized something. The giant wasn't interested in me. He was mourning a fallen mammoth and could not care less about my passing. That or he's a fan of Cabbageball. I unfortunately had to incur a 30-second penalty to move my cabbage, but little did I know I had much bigger issues coming soon. But before we get to my impending doom, let's check in on Joov.
I think we're gonna really improve our... Okay, hold on. We're getting hilly here. Holy hell, damn, he's got momentum. Fuck the wolves. We gotta focus on the cabbage. I'm losing. Oh my god, I kicked it again. This thing is flying. I'm out of stamina trying to keep up. Oh my god. Dude, he's got a mind of his own. Mbappe's got a leg on him. Where are we? Map check. Ooh!
Joov is about a quarter of the way to Solitude, but is yet to hit a new quick save, meaning a death would bring him all the way back to Riften's gates. Ren, meanwhile, continues to look for her cabbage after using a Fus Ro Dah to blast it out of that log.
I hate this. Why did I agree to this? My second cabbage!
She eventually makes it to a checkpoint, banking her an additional shout as well as a quick save. She also picks up some loot here.
Wait, 17? I can do that.
One more rule. You can only equip weapons found on the road if you could reasonably swing them in real life. The realism weight limit is an honor rule. If the audience would reasonably call you a liar, it's illegal.
What do you guys think? Can I reasonably swing a 13-pound mace in combat? I don't think so.
Wait, 17? I can do that.
She does a bit more map planning and comes up with another strategy, to hit as many towns as possible.
We'll get our Fus Ro Dahs up as much as possible, and we'll just fucking Fus Ro Dah our way there, I think.
It is a solid thesis, and Joov is in fact already putting it into practice.
2 shouts banked. I will take a quick save there.
And almost immediately falls into a snag.
Sisyphean nature of the cabbage! Oh no, that's a time loss. I'm going for it. I'm doing it. Level 2, Fus Ro. I'm getting us out of here. God damn it, I'm Night Eye equipped. Are you serious? What fucking buzzkill, man. Environmental hazards. Maybe the cabbage hits them and stops. Perfect little chip. Perfect little chip. It's out of danger. It wants to come back down, though. Get up. Get up. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. We're good. We're good. That was insane. Absolutely insane. Holy, oh my God, that was awesome. Woo! Fucking cabbage. God, I love cabbage.
Seeing Joov's success, you'd assume the shout at the vegetable meta was flawless.
Fine. Whew. And I did fucking nothing. All right, tactical hold it is.
It turns out the Fus Ro Dah is an art form. Faced with the soul-crushing reality of swamp hell, I also caved, burning my one and only tactical hold just to feel something akin to progress. Once per run, you're allowed to pick up and hold your active cabbage and run with it for 30 seconds. You must count out loud and you must drop it no matter what after the 30 seconds. 29, 30, fucking wolves, dude. Wren was a little less lucky with her tactical hold.
3. I think it just clipped. No, no, no! All right, new plan. What a waste of my tactical hold. Okay, we've hit a good spot. Fus Ro Dah. That's it. I'm doing it. No! Maybe I should do more challenges like this. Give the people what they want, you know? Misery. What? No! Did I even have one to use? Did I even have...
And while Wren was discovering the emotional cost of Cabbageball, I was dealing with the one rule my competitors didn't have to deal with. Because I wrote the rulebook, I gave myself a real-world handicap. Thanks to Shake Mistake hooking up a real step counter to Skyrim, we know the journey from Riften to Solitude takes 14,052 steps. So while managing my Skyrim run, I also had to go outside and physically kick a real cabbage the same distance. Whatever time that took would be added to my final score. 5 cabbages, 1 forest, so far so good.
Pines Grove discovered. There we go. Hit the main road. Checkpoint, please. Ooh, getting across this bridge looks difficult. And I kicked it too hard. Redirect. Oh my God. Oh, he redirects it onto the bridge. What a fucking play at the last second. That thing was bound and determined to find itself in the river.
Joov is crushing the pace, but he's about to hit a quintessential Bethesda roadblock.
Challenge. I believe my cabbage just disappeared through the map. Surprisingly, that's the first time that's happened.
This brings us to one of the most controversial rules in professional Cabbageball, the Act of Todd. If your cabbage visibly clips through the map, you are allowed to call a challenge. You can't just lose your cabbage in some grass and claim divine intervention. You need to have seen it clip. Under these criteria, you may use the console to spawn one replacement cabbage at the exact site of the disappearance, with no time penalty.
Now we play ball like nothing happened.
Meanwhile, Wren was still stuck in the water. She had spent all of her shouts, her first tactical hold was gone, and it looks like she's going to be replacing a lost cabbage. Luckily, the rulebook has one emergency clause for this exact kind of misery, the sacrifice play. You may permanently discard one backup cabbage to buy one additional 30-second carry, up to 3 times per game, and none of them could prepare us for the great equalizer of Cabbageball, this spot right here. Just before Anga's Mill, west of Windhelm, there's this little path leading up toward the mill. It looks harmless. It looks like a normal piece of road, but one wrong move and the cabbage banks down the path and into the river. I call it Dead Man's Gulch, and this path would single-handedly change the game for one of our players. Joov arrived first.
Fuck, this is gonna be tough.
Then Wren, and then myself.
Oh, good hit, good hit, good hit, good juggle, but we really gotta balance here. Oh God, stop, 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 you fucker! Too much, too much, too much, too much, get outside of it, catch it, catch it. Ah!
Oh man.
No, not that way. No!
After a panicked Fus Ro Dah, Joov eventually managed to get the cabbage back onto the hill. Then, recognizing the danger immediately, he opts for his first tactical hold of the game, effectively escaping the clutches of Dead Man's Gulch. With my tactical hold already gone, I had to burn a cabbage for a sacrifice play. Wren, however, had already burned her tactical hold and one of her sacrifice plays. So instead of escaping the gulch, she decided to tough it out. She's gonna be here for a while. Meanwhile, my real-life route had taken me somewhere slightly less Nordic. I had found a golf course. I had started the clock at exactly 5:16 p.m., and within minutes I realized 2 things. First, real cabbages deteriorate significantly faster than you'd imagine. And second, I am profoundly out of shape. I was genuinely shocked at how much stamina it took to just string a few kicks together. Further up the road at Anga's Mill, Joov and I were running into our second problem. Another fucking hill. After watching all 3 runs multiple times, I can say the main thing separating Joov from Wren and me is his ability to think on the fly. Because we both get stuck on this massive hill. The cabbage keeps rolling down, catching on the road, and getting wedged into the geometry of this house. I incurred 7 penalties here. 7. I wasted over half an hour trying to get out of this before eventually burning another cabbage for a second sacrifice play. Joov got stuck for like 3 minutes and immediately changed his plan. Let's check in on Wren at Dead Man's Gulch.
I think Bandercoot's not even making a video. I think Bandercoot said, hey, Wren, you want to be in this super funny challenge video? It's under the ice. Oh, great. Oh, sick. Oh, sick. Oh, sick. It's under the ice. With the other cabbage. Oh, I love this.
She eventually makes it up. only to fall back down.
No, please. Yeah, sure, let's go back down this way. Who cares? I don't mind.
When you spend hours staring at a rolling vegetable, you tend to develop a severe case of tunnel vision. You forget to check your surroundings, you forget to monitor your stamina, and most importantly, you forget that Skyrim is an actively hostile environment.
Who's that? No, are you a bandit? No! No!
No sign of it.
And just like that, hours of grueling, soul-crushing progress vanished. The mental break was no longer a possibility. It was a certainty. And we've received a counteroffer for our Skyrim prize. $91.99, $5 off. You want to play hardball, buddy? Now this is the point in the run where our three paths have diverged. Joov starts heading north towards Dawnstar. I start tracking south towards Whiterun. And Ren, not wanting to face Dead Man's Gulch again, starts cutting west from basically the start of her run.
We're getting close to Ice Wraith territory here. Fuck me, what do we do? This is a huge problem. Fuck, I think that's a 5-minute penalty.
Meanwhile, Ren was carving her new path west, and it's around this point where you can really see the challenge beginning to hollow her out.
Do you guys remember how I was at the beginning of the stream? I was all bright-eyed and excited, and I was nervous. Like, what if I decide I just don't want to finish this challenge? What then? This is my villain origin story.
Another hill. This is the spiral. Every tiny victory is immediately followed by a new punishment. Every foot of progress has to be paid for in dignity. Once again, Ren's cabbage pilgrimage is interrupted by bandits. She tries to fight them off with arrows, nearly dies, and then pulls off the most violent finishing move of the entire race, which should be a triumphant moment, but like all triumphs in her run, it's been undercut by a setback. So she makes the only rational decision left.
I think I can only take so much in one day. I'm gonna go make a little bit of food, and then I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. Hey, thanks, Bandercoot. Can't wait for day 2.
While Ren paused her run in defeat, Joov was still on the clock, trapped in a quick save loop with an ice wraith.
Okay, so they activate regardless of what we do. The main solution here, to save as much time as possible, we need the giants to aggro the ice wraiths. Good to go. Oh my god, the ice wraith moved the cabbage. How many kicks does it take to render a cabbage inedible, do you think?
Empirically, about 500. But while I was kicking cabbages up through a forest, Joov was entering the most dangerous phase of his run. Confidence.
What a fucking dribble. What an unbelievable dribble. We get up, we're at the fort, safe little spot here, F5, quick save, 3 shouts.
By the time he reached Dawnstar, he executed what I can only describe as his second most professional Fus Ro Dah of the entire game. No panic, just pure calculated ballistics.
That is really far.
Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Joov. I don't know what his last name is. I don't even know what his first name is. He checks the map, and for the first time, Solitude doesn't look like a geographical impossibility.
Man, we're almost home, and we have 3 shouts left. We just need to get it across this huge body of water, which is going to be difficult.
Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And unfortunately for the rest of us, Joov had been preparing for a game like Cabbageball to come along his entire life. But miles away, deep in the unforgiving wilderness of southern Windhelm, a different kind of history was being written. Ren entered day 2 utterly transformed. The frustration was gone. The panic was gone. In their place was Zen, and something else. Faced with a monolithic incline, Ren didn't try to brute force the cabbage. Instead, she surrendered to it. Wielding a single wolf pelt, she turned her back to the summit. She used the pelt to catch, cradle, and coax the cabbage upward. It defied the conventional physics of the sport. It wasn't flashy, and it certainly wasn't fast. But as she crested the peak of that first massive hill, one thing became undeniably clear. It worked.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ren's confidence was back. She became an unstoppable force of slow, methodical precision. And then, off in the distance,
Whiterun!
and there, waiting for her in Whiterun's farmland, was her reward.
Holy cabbages!
And something else.
Sweet roll! Sweet roll! Sweet roll!
Which brings us to the final rule of the game, the sweet roll sprint. If you find, steal, or buy a sweet roll, eating it activates a sugar rush. Just like a tactical hold, you are allowed to pick up your cabbage and flat out sprint with it for exactly 30 seconds. I had also been experimenting with wolf pelts to block my cabbage from rolling down hills, though my attempts were nowhere near as enlightened as Ren's. Fortunately, I didn't need to master the pelt. I had finally hit Whiterun, and more importantly, its farmlands. This was the whole reason I tracked south to begin with. This route is an absolute goldmine for safe zones, cooldowns, quick saves, and fresh cabbages. Back in the real world, my 14,000 step penalty was taking its toll. I had pushed past the golf course after a failed real-life Fus Ro Dah that destroyed a fresh cabbage, trekked up through a dense forest, and was now navigating alongside some actual river rapids. The good news is, my kicking rhythm was solid. Up north, Joov was in the absolute endgame.
Way more distance there. We love that shot. We love that shot. What a beauty. I mean, to that right there, that's just an absolutely beautiful shot. That's why he's on the tour.
Aggressively closing the distance to Solitude and chaining together expert shouts like a man possessed. But to shave off those final crucial minutes, he was about to attempt a make-or-break maneuver, a cross-river shout. It was the perfect hit, and by some mix of divine intervention, dumb luck, and undeniable talent, the cabbage didn't sink.
It landed and floated?
A physics-defying miracle to cap off an otherworldly run. Joov approached the final stretch, the stone bridge leading right to Solitude's gates. He was practically touching the finish line. He just needed to play it safe.
Rock on the bridge! Oh my god, what? How does he do this? No, I kicked it again!
A single fumble immediately snowballed into a total collapse.
I just sent it fucking flying.
In his frantic scramble to locate his airborne vegetable, he somehow managed to pull the aggro of the local hired thug detail. So, while our frontrunner was suddenly fighting for his life on the literal doorstep of victory, Wren was preparing for her own final push.
It's so funny because right now I feel like grateful for this challenge. I'm gonna be honest, yesterday I was genuinely thinking that that this wasn't even possible.
It's fascinating to watch the psychological divergence of our competitors. While Joov was treating this like an Olympic sprint, Wren, having regained all confidence, had completely detached from the stress of the clock. She was actively carving out me time, chopping firewood in the wilderness for absolutely no reason, spending 10 unbroken minutes trying to finesse a bucket onto a guy's head. For better or for worse, she remembered that Skyrim is actually a video game meant for playing. My run, unfortunately, was about to take a severe plunge. Literally. It looked like a catastrophic time loss, but staring down at that river I realized something. The water flows north. Solitude is north. Instead of burning a penalty or fighting the terrain, I made the tactical decision to take the nautical route. In a weird way, my Skyrim run was starting to mirror reality, because back outside, my physical journey had finally transitioned past the rapids onto a local beach. By this point, the sheer physical exhaustion had completely broken me down, and a strange zen just sort of washed over me. There was something oddly meditative about the repetitive whir of a battered cabbage tapping against the asphalt as I kicked it through a quiet neighborhood. At exactly 8:36 p.m. I had hit my final step. The physical run was over. Now I just had to finish the digital one. Okay, $90. The grand prize is officially secured. Joov was meanwhile lying low, waiting for his health bar to recover. He managed to pick the guards off one by one and made another agonizingly tense attempt at the bridge.
I almost did it again. Just like that. Hey, that's the way we get up this hill.
With the bridge cleared, Joov was steps away from the final path to Solitude. Wren, meanwhile, finally had the city in her sights, as did I.
I got one shout left. Let's hope it's a good one. You better believe I'm going full blast with it here. I want it to go through that door.
Alright, this is why I've been saving the shouts. It was all worth it for one good Fus Ro Dah. The final stretch was underway, and while Joov and I loaded our shouts, Wren readied her ultimate weapon.
It's time.
The sugar rush.
1, 2.
Focus. Detail. Precision.
10, 11, 12.
Knowledge. Physics. Idiot, you dumbass! Get back into first person. What's up with keyboard mashing?
15.
That's a mulligan.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's it, we did it.
The dust has settled on the gates of Solitude, the game tape has been reviewed, the scorecards have been tabulated. It's time for the official Cabbageball standings. Taking the silver medal is myself. My base time was 3 hours and 2 minutes. I suffered 2 deaths, netting a 10-minute penalty, and I incurred a frankly embarrassing 23 out-of-bounds infractions. However, I managed to shepherd all 5 of my backup cabbages to the finish line. Factoring in the maximum 25-minute deduction, the official net time for Team Bandercoot stands at 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 30 seconds. Adding my real cabbage runtime, which took me from 5:15 until 8:38 p.m., puts me at 6 hours and 21 minutes and 30 seconds. But it wasn't even close. Joov put on an absolute clinic on that turf. Despite picking up 6 minutes in penalties along the route, he retained 4 out of 5 cabbages for a 20-minute bonus. Joov crosses the finish line with a staggering, undisputed final time of 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 20 seconds. Joov is officially your inaugural Cabbageball champion. He will be awarded the highest honor in this sport.
What is this? Oh, this is cool. It's graded? Holy shit. Wait, this is the coolest thing I've ever gotten. Xbox 360 Better with Kinect, Legendary Edition. Okay, yeah, I want to figure out what is it worth.
And finally, there is Wren. In a stunning display of defensive, methodical gameplay, she managed to keep every single one of her backup cabbages alive, securing the absolute maximum deduction of negative 25 minutes. A flawless execution of roster management, which brings her final mathematically adjusted completion time to 8 hours, 8 minutes, and 4 seconds. What a season. Good game, everyone. As for the rest of you, the rulebook is public, the leaderboard is live. If you think you can beat 1 hour and 26 minutes, record it. The fastest times will officially be eligible for next year's Cabbageball tournament, where Joov will be waiting to defend his crown. Huge thanks to Joov and ForTheWren for humoring me and suffering through this. Both of their streams are linked in the description, and I highly recommend checking them out. I'm Bandercoot. Thank you for watching.